A lot of women did not become emotionally guided by accident. Life had taught them to be that way. Some of us learned early that vulnerability was punished and softness was exploited, that emotions made people uncomfortable, and needing help led to disappointment. So we all adapted. We became hyper independent and emotionally self sufficient. And not because it felt good, but because it felt safer. And eventually, being hard became mistaken for being powerful. Being unavailable became mistaken for confidence. Overworking became ambition, and emotional suppression was called maturity. But surviving is not the same thing as feeling safe. Let me say that again. Surviving and feeling safe are two different things. Softness has been misunderstood for a very long time because people confuse softness with passivity. But softness is not lacking boundaries or tolerating disrespect. Abandoning yourself or shrinking for acceptance is not softness. That is self erasure. Real softness is emotional safety. It is your ability to stay connected to yourself without becoming hardened by life. A true soft woman can still say, no, I disagree. This hurts me. I deserve better. Because softness without boundaries becomes self abandonment. But softness with self respect becomes emotional power. The strongest women are not always the loudest. Sometimes they are the ones who no longer need to prove themselves to feel worthy. Most people think confidence is a personality trait, but it is not. It is often as a result of emotional safety. Because when your nervous system feels safe, you stop over explaining yourself to get validation. You just stop performing worthiness, and that changes your entire presence. You can always tell when a woman is becoming more emotionally secure. She moves differently, not slower per se, but with less tension. There's less urgency in her energy. She becomes less and less desperate to prove her worth. Confidence is not everybody has to notice me. Confidence is I notice myself now. Many women are exhausted because they are performing constantly, performing confidence, performing perfections, performing emotional control. And performance is exhausting because it disconnects you from authenticity. A woman who constantly feels she must impress, overachieve, or overperfect herself. That fear creates chronic emotional tension, and gradually the body feels it. Is usually carrying an internal fear that who she is naturally may not be enough. Some women do not need to become better. They need to finally feel safe, to be seen as they already are. This is the part no one talks about. Becoming soft often requires grieving the part that no longer serves you, the version of you that survived everything alone, because emotional distance, perfectionism, and hyper independence protected you once. So, healing is not about shaming those versions of you. It's about realizing that you may not need those survival strategies anymore. There comes a moment in healing where the woman realizes that she may no longer need those emotional armor all the time. And honestly, that moment changes everything. Soft confidence is quieter than social media makes it seem. It's being able to walk away peacefully instead of performing indifference. It is resting without guilt, receiving love without suspicion, and being honest without apologizing for your existence. And maybe becoming self starts here, not by becoming a different woman, but finally feeling safe enough to become yourself. I think many women secretly believe that becoming soft will make them lose their edge. Maybe that edge was never the healthiest part of you. Maybe peace looks unfamiliar because survival was loud for so long. You do not have to harden yourself to feel respected. You do not have to exhaust yourself to feel loved. And you definitely do not have to perform confidence to genuinely feel secure. If this resonates with you, I want you to leave one sentence in the comments. What would your life feel like if you stop performing survival all the time? Want more conversations on emotional healing, confidence, nervous system healing, soft living, and become more emotionally secure? Please subscribe, not for perfection, but for peace.